So day 2 of the NFL draft is in the books, and the Carolina Panthers, they made a lot of moves. When I mean a lot of moves, I mean a lot of moves. And we have a whole bunch to talk about. Before I get into that, though, I want to introduce myself. My name is Aaron Duncan here at the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. I start off every video by saying, "What up, dude?" And today, I'm going over day 2 of the draft, talking about everything. But on this channel, I do recap and analysis of the NFL in particular. Show a little extra love to the Carolina Panthers. So if you want to see more videos to stay up to date with all the news and stuff that's going on this offseason, you got to make sure you hit the subscribe button below and give the video a thumbs up too. But when you hit the subscribe button though, hit the bell icon. There's a bell icon that'll pop up after you subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I drop a video, every time I go live, every time I drop any kind of announcement on the channel, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on with this Panthers team. It's been a very eventful offseason. So if you want to stay up to date on everything that I'm dropping and talking about, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. But hey, real quick, down below in the comments, let me know how you feel about what the Panthers have been doing. They made a total of 4 trades. 4 trades on day 2, just in 2 rounds. Do you think they're over trading? Or they passed on anybody because they've been trading too much? How do you feel about what they've been addressing thus far? And what do you think is going to happen going forward? Let me know down below in the comments. So the Panthers came into day 2 with the 39th pick overall. Once again, the 7th pick of that second round. But they didn't stay put. They came into this, they told us that they want to have as many picks as possible. Like I told you guys before, it's a numbers game. The draft is a crapshoot. There's no such thing as a sure thing. You got to get as many players in as possible, try to develop who you can, and keep it pushing. Everybody's not going to work out. So the more people you pick, the better chance you have of getting more good players. So the Panthers knew they wanted to come in and get more picks, even though they were coming in only with 6. They stayed put at number 8 because they couldn't move back. But day 2, they got busy. So they moved back from 39 to 52, and from 52 back to 59. They had a total of 4 trades on day 2. 4. That's astronomical. They ended up turning those 6 picks they had into a total of 10. So they recouped most of those picks they got out of the Sam Darnold trade. But at number 59, the person they drafted was Terrance Marshall, wide receiver from LSU. And I love this pick mainly because it gives us another size element into our receiving core. We have a lot of speed with DJ Moore and Robbie, but they're both kind of 6 feet, 6'1". Robbie is a little bit taller than that. Robbie's about 6'2", 6'3", but he's only like a $185, so he's not the type of big body receiver that you look for. Terrance Marshall is that big body receiver that you can look for to go along with David Moore. Now, he has a chance to be very effective in this offense. We know he has the LSU background with Joe Brady, where he actually had good numbers. Instead of leaving LSU like everybody else did with Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and Joe Brady, he actually stayed put and played in this 2020 season, even through the COVID things, and he was very effective. According to PFF, no wide receiver has a higher passer rating when being targeted in the NCAA since 2019, and Terrance Marshall is that guy. Some people have compared him to Muhsin Muhammad. I'm not going to crown him because Muhsin Muhammad is obviously probably one of the greatest receivers in Panthers history, if not the second greatest behind Steve Smith, of course. But I'm not going to compare him to that. But I do love having a tall guy like that in the slot that can really get busy, and he still has room to grow. I think they're going to find a good place in this offense, obviously, with him to try to replace Curtis Samuel. Obviously, they have a different skill set they want to put inside, but he's a great complementary piece to DJ and Robbie Anderson's speed with his combination of size, fluidity, and athleticism, and the ability to really go and get the ball in the air. And that's exactly what we were missing from our offense, which is really going to help us in the red zone too, because we know how much we struggled in the red zone, which was a result, obviously, of tight end play and for a lack of size at the wide receiver position. A lot of people thought he had first-round talent, so getting him at the second round, especially this far back after trading back twice, you love to see it. So this is a great value pick. We were able to recoup picks also and get more value and still get a highly rated guy. You can't really ask for much more from your general management when it comes to Scott Fitterer than doing that. Like I said, we knew they were going to come in and trade. I was a little bit thrown off because I was sitting there waiting with my beer in my hand, waiting to see who we were going to pick. We get traded back. I'm like, all right, whatever. Got a little patience. Wait till 52. Traded back again. So I'm like, are we ever going to pick on the second round? Because they said that they liked a lot of the guys in the second and third round, and they felt like there's a lot of good talent to be had. There's a lot of depth at positions like wide receiver and offensive tackle. And that's exactly where they went with their next pick. And the guy was Brady Christensen, offensive tackle out of BYU, who spent some time protecting the number 2 overall pick, Zach Wilson. And We're going to PFF again. You're going to see a pattern. I'm milking these guys for their numbers. He was the highest graded tackle in the NCAA, and that's saying a lot because he's at a small school and he's protecting a guy that really went high in the draft, so it really says something about that. This guy is 6'6", 300 pounds, so even though he plays tackle, he's probably going to need to add another 10, 15, 20 pounds to be able to hold up and be stout in this league because you're going to be going up against guys like JPP, Cam Jordan, who are pretty strong guys and they use a lot of bull rush. They do have that size and they do have a little bit of athleticism, but they're not speed rushers coming off the edge where you need to be lean and quick. These guys are going to try to get up in you, give you a little bit of hand movement, try to shock you with their bull rushes and do moves off that. So you need to be able to stand tall in that. So he's going to have some time to grow and get stronger as he progresses in the offseason program. Obviously, going to a small school, size is not always a big factor because the level of competition that you play is not the greatest. The best team they played this past season was Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina is a very competitive team, but they don't have overwhelming size like you may see in the SEC or ACC when it comes to some of these other tackles coming out in the draft this year. Nevertheless, he will not have the pressure of being the starter right away. He will battle Cam Erving, and it shows that the Panthers have a lot of faith in Cam Erving at left tackle. I know a lot of fans were kind of pissed off that we kept trading back, and they were even pissed off with the Christensen pick because there were other players at the tackle position that some had rated higher. However, the Panthers, they have a type. They have these check boxes, I guess, because of the size and the frame potential that he has to develop and the fact that he's a pretty good technician, especially being rated so high by PFF. The Panthers like what they like. They have types when it comes to every position, and he checked those boxes for them. So he has a chance to come on slow if he has to, and we're going to have some depth. Regardless, I expect him to get some playing time this year just because of depth purposes. And at left tackle position, we have, like I said, Erving. We signed Trent Scott to a one-year deal. Also, Greg Little is going to be competing in there. So that we just got some competition and some depth on the offensive line, especially from the tackle position on both sides. So you love to see that. But then our last pick of the day, which is our last third rounder, we ended up having 2 third rounders this year because we had 3 total. But we traded back, of course, and then because we had no 4th, 5th, or 6th pick before that. We had no 4th rounder, no 5th rounder, or no 7th rounder. But we had 3 thirds and 3 6. So we decided to make another trade. Like I said, there's a total of 4 trades today. So we decided to make another trade to go get some more later picks and another 4th round pick for next year. So that was a smart deal because a lot of people are saying that they couldn't scout that well this year, so they may like to accumulate more 2022 picks. They think 2021 is going to be even more of a crapshoot this year than usual because the lack of being able to travel on the road a lot of times, lack of being able to get on the field. A lot of guys opted out. Different circumstances because of COVID made the scouting process different. So a lot of smart GMs are trying to make trades to get future picks instead of more heavy in this year. Panthers did a good job balancing in a little bit of both, maximizing the value that they had. Their last pick of today was a 3rd rounder. It was Tommy Tremble, a tight end out of Notre Dame. Now, we know we needed some tight end help because Ian Thomas is not that productive. But I really think this pick, and I've told you guys in previous videos, Ian Thomas will probably be a surprise cut this year just because the Panthers, they got nothing from him. They got nothing. And then they lost Chris Manhertz in free agency to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's where Tommy Tremble comes in. He's more known of a blocking tight end than so receiving. Some people feel like his receiving talent is a little bit untapped. I don't know. Chris Manhertz, you did get a few catches ever so often from him. I feel like Tremble will be the same way, but he is a great run blocking guy, and it's perfect. It's perfect for a replacement for Manhertz. You get somebody younger. You get somebody that has a little bit more upside when it comes to the receiving game. And he may not fit all the check boxes when it comes to size and whatnot that these guys were looking for, but he's going to have a role in this offense, I think, and he's going to really help tremendously when it comes to Christian McCaffrey in that run game. Like I said, I'm milking PFF. This guy was the highest rated run blocking tight end. Is that saying a ton for the NCAA? Not a ton because a lot of teams run spread, but at the same time, the fact that Notre Dame still used him in that way says a lot. And for us to get him, it sends a message about what they're trying to do, and they address what was really a need. You do need a blocking tight end to help supplement when your offensive line can be somewhat suspect. You can use that blocking tight end to keep them in line, or you can use him as a lead blocker in the run game too to facilitate some type of things like that, because you did lose Alex Armour. Even though you did bring in a replacement, you still got to find a way to shore up that backfield when it comes to blocking for Christian McCaffrey. So what's next on the horizon for the Carolina Panthers? A lot of people are expecting them to go guard at some point, but we're really in a position where we can go best player available. On this last day of rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7. They have a total of 5 picks, 1 4th rounder, 1 5th rounder, and 3 6th round picks. We'll see if they make any more moves. Don't be surprised if we do or don't. We may try to flip some of those 6 and move up into the 4th. I think they feel a lot better about some guys in this 4th and 5th range than they do in the late picks, which can sometimes be either special teams guys or throwaway guys. So look for them to try to get up into the 4 and 5 range. Obviously, we know Scott Fitterer has a history of getting these late guys when it comes to, of course, Richard Sherman was a 5th round pick. He was a part of Russell Wilson being drafted in the 3rd round. So they can sometimes find these gems. So look for them to try to flip some more picks and make some more moves, maybe either to get more picks for next year or to go ahead and move up into 4th and 5th round and get additional pick there to get some guys that we want. But maybe, are we over trading? Some people may think we're over trading. Some people may think we're a little bit too active. You can get a little trade happy because we passed on some talent at tackle. You guys let me know down below in the comments how you feel about that. Do you think we're trading too much? Because like I said, we traded 4 times in 2 rounds today. 4 times. That is a lot. I know we were really trying to trade back for number 8 on day 1, and it didn't work out. But it seemed like they tried to do everything they could to either A, make up for missing out on that, and B, make up for those picks for Sam Darnold. But speaking of Sam Darnold, the proof is in the pudding, man. They've done everything. Literally everything. I mean, the offensive line can get better probably with some more younger talent, but they've literally gave everything to Sam Darnold. He's going to have the best running back in the league. They've drafted another weapon. Terrance Marshall is going to be able to excel comfortably in this Joe Brady offense. They've addressed some spots on the offensive line, obviously, and they're going to give him a pretty solid young up-and-coming defense to really make things easy. This defense, if they can live up to their potential, it's going to take some growing pains, obviously, because some spots they still have some things to do. But they can potentially be in the top half of the league, if not top 10, the top 12. We will see. I will break that down some more in an additional video later, but it's looking good. So everything there is for Sam Darnold to succeed. If he fails, it may really just honestly be on him. But does Matt Rhule catch any flack if he does fail? Because they're doing everything in their power. So they're probably trying to say, hey, look, hey, ownership. We've done everything we could for this guy. If he fails, it's on him. And that's honestly where they're at. They're kind of wiping their hands with the situation and say, hey, the ball is in your court. We're handing the ball to you, Sam. You got to be able to do what you do and make something happen to prove yourself. We're giving you a second chance to redeem your career. We're giving every opportunity to succeed. You have to succeed. So we will see how it goes with Sam Darnold going forward. Obviously, I'll have another video tomorrow after day 3 is over. So you guys stay tuned. Day 3 starts a little bit earlier, but it is what it is. So we're going to get into it. So you guys let me know down below in the comments how you feeling about the team right now. Too many trades? Are they moving around too much? Let me know. But without further ado, I'm Aaron Ducker signing off. I'll see you next time. Peace.